Question is that the motion be agreed to. I call Adrian Rurapi.
Tēnā koe te māngai atu are. O tino piki mai, kake mai. O mai te waiora ki a hau e tūtehu ana te moe o te koe o te pō. Hoi ka raru I raru ai, ka pāpaki tuana ngā tai ki te reinga, ka pō, kao, kāwatea, a tihai mauri ora. E tuku mii atu ki a koutou ngā ruahine. Ki ngā hapu, kānehi, umutahi, hapu, o kahu, inua wai, hapu, Ngāti manu hiakai, hapu, Ngāti tū, hapu, Ngāti haua, hapu, Ngāti tama ahuroa, titahi, hapu. Ana ia hau, te tihi uri o ngā waka tauroa, tuku mihi atu ki a koutou. Nau mai, hara mai, whakatau mai. Ka mihi aku anō ki ngā mate katoa, I runga I a koutou, I runga I a mātou, I runga I a tātou katoa. Ka nui te tangi o te ngākau, te wehe ngatu o rātou mā I timatanga, I timata tēnei kaupapa. Nō reira, e oki, e moe, e moe. Mr. Speaker, it gives me great pleasure to speak in the first reading of the Ngā Ruahine settlement claim. Sir, ka tāpiri aku taku mihi ki te mihi ka tukuna atu e koe ki te iwi nei. I want to join my acknowledgement to the one that you have given first before all speakers. And I think it is appropriate that as you, sir, are in the chair, that you ought to have done that. So I acknowledge that that you did that, and I join mine to yours. Sir, this settlement has been a long time coming, like all settlements that arrive here. I talked about perseverance in the Hineuru settlement bill, and I could equally apply that to the Ngā Ruahine people, their perseverance in coming through all of the historical issues that have happened in Taranaki Whānui, but in particular in this case to Ngā Ruahine. The likes of which are still carried by the people of Ngā Ruahine to this day. I've spoken on previous occasions on these settlement bills, and I've talked about historical and intergenerational trauma. If there was a historical account that I've read that describes the historical and intergenerational trauma, then I would point to this historical account, which is included in this bill, sir. It is not easy for a generation to carry such trauma and then to address it with the perpetrators of the trauma that has been inflicted upon them. It takes courage to be able to do that. So I acknowledge the whole iwi, but in particular I want to acknowledge the negotiators and, as the Minister has pointed out, to Daisy Noble, who has been absolutely tenacious in getting Ngā Ruahine to this point today. I think it's that she ought to be mentioned for that very fact of carrying the hurt and the trauma of past generations so that it can be appropriately addressed through this settlement. And so I acknowledge that. The settlement, sir, is a significant one. The Minister has outlined all of the parts of which is included within this deed of settlement, and I want to acknowledge his work in bringing this settlement to the House. but also the officers at the Office of Treaty Settlement and the Crown negotiators there. The kaitiaki instrument in particular drew my attention. It's talking about the natural resources, which are, of course, very important to Ngā Ruahine. Also, I wanted to spend a bit of time on the financial redress. I believe that the financial redress, of course, looks fairly significant, but when we all know that it is but a small proportion of what was lost. The total area lost in Taranaki, 1.2 million acres, and which includes all of the land of Ngā Ruahine. This gives an opportunity for the iwi to move forward, to use that settlement asset to grow the economic base of the iwi, so that those things that impact on the iwi today, which is borne by the generations of today and those generations to come, will have a base from which they can restore or begin to restore their place within and on their lands. I think it's important that we acknowledge, and we've heard this, the generosity of spirit, which we've heard on a number of times during debates on settlements. But when an iwi has lost completely everything, absolutely everything, and then still survives today and finds it within themselves to negotiate with the perpetrators of the hurt that has been inflicted upon them, then that generosity certainly needs to be acknowledged there. The financial redress, as I said, provides a way forward for the iwi. I think that future generations will be in good stead through this financial redress there. I have to acknowledge also that through this settlement, the iwi of Ngā Ruahine will eventually, and I'm sure well on their way to being full participants in everything that goes on in their rohe. And I point to the relationship agreements within, or mechanisms within this treaty settlement, also the letters that the Crown will write to ministries to encourage those relationships to move forward. I always think, sir, those letters could be a bit more. I think there could be more obligation upon the ministries and departments to ensure that that relationship happens. There's nothing worse than having, and it is something that I think that should be discussed at select committee and hopefully through submissions to make sure that those letters are not just pieces of paper, that when there is engagement between the iwi and those ministries, they are at a level where the decisions are made and not with officers, middle management of those ministries. Nō reira, koe nā taku kōrero e te māngai i te whare. Ka mihi atu anō ahau ki a koutou ngā uri o Ngā Ruahine. Ka nui te mihi atu ki a koutou ko te tūmanako ki a uhia mai e ngā manaakitanga ki runga ki a koutou katoa mō ngā wā katoa a tihei Maudiora.